Hi,
Hi,
Yota.
Mary.
So let's talk about how hypnotherapy can help your child or someone's child.
Yeah, yeah. So first of all, you know what we should do? We should talk about what classifies a child. Like what is the
Oh,
actual parameters that you see that the difference between working with children and adults? Does it include adolescents to you, or do you mean just
so I think there are two questions in one here. One
yeah.
is what age do we start working with kids?
Oh, good
And
one.
the other one is until when we define someone as a child rather than, you know, adult, and why we do this, why we differentiate. So, there are the straightforward, the financial issue, right?
Right.
Um, we teenagers are still being, their sessions are still being paid by their parents. So I
That's right.
see them as children.
Ah, interesting.
And so I started to call it children and teens rather than just children.
Yeah,
But knowing that their parents are paying for it, and and usually it's their parents' choice as well,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
then I
That's right.
include them in this under this umbrella. And another thing is, what age do you start working with kids?
Yes,
This is something completely different. And for this, it's not a specific age, but I think it's about maturity. How
I
mature
agree.
is the child?
I agree. And interestingly, that's how I differentiate between child and adult sessions. It isn't so much about who's paying or the age on the birth certificate, but the type of session that I will be doing, because some adolescents are still in the category of doing child hypnosis to me, and some are ready for adult sessions. So that's how I differentiate. It's on a case by case basis, really.
Exactly.
Yeah. So let's introduce ourselves.
You
I
start.
will say, okay, I'm going to introduce you, Miri
Okay.
Malkin, clinical hypnotherapist on the Lower Mainland in the city of Vancouver, and working online and in person sessions. And I'm Neota, a hypnotherapist on Vancouver Island, again, online and in person sessions. And Miri and I met at hypnotherapy school when we became clinical hypnotherapists. That's where we met. And we have stayed in touch, and we have a great deal of respect and admiration for one another, both as we practice with our clients and when we therapy each other, because that's an important component that we do. And we have actually taken our practices in very different, not very, but in different modalities and different focuses over the years. But we just stay connected in our love of all things hypnosis and all things healing.
Absolutely. So
I, I
thank
didn't
you,
mean to talk
Nyota.
for you.
Sorry.
I didn't
No,
mean to
that's
talk
fine.
for you.
So thank you, but let's go back to kids or hypnosis for kids and why hypnosis for kids. And I want to go back quickly to what age, because sometimes I get um, calls from parents who want to bring their kids. So I want to say something about what's important for me before I see and before I start working with any child or teenager. And adults, of course, but adults, they can take care of themselves. And children and teens, someone is setting it up for them. So, what's important for me? First of all, they need to be able to talk to me, right? If they need to want to do something together.
Yeah,
Um, and because usually, let's face it, the parents decide for children, the parents decide that there is a problem, and
right.
then the parents is looking for solution that
Yes,
applies, appealing to the parents. And
yes,
then the parents is looking for a professional, again, appealing to the parents. But
Yes.
until now, the child usually is not on board and is being
Yeah.
brought into the solution without having a say, without having a control about anything.
Yeah.
So for me, I want the child to be part of the process. So after I talk to the parents and see that, we agree on specific things and about the way we want to approach this issue and so on. And if the parents think that they would like me to work with a child and I would like to work with them as a parent, then what happens is that I ask them to have a quick call, Zoom call, with the
Yep.
child. I want to
Yeah.
talk to the child. I want to see and to hear from the child that the child is on board. The child wants to meet me. The child wants to change the situation they're in. And
Exactly.
only then we meet. So kids who are 5 years old, usually, they might be too young to work
Yes.
with me specifically. I
Yeah.
don't know about others. What about you?
Yeah. Um, Again, it works on the focus and maturity level. If you can't get a child to hear you, if they're not interested, if they're not
Right.
interested, it's just a waste of time and money. And we've talked about this in other times. I'm not in this to fail anyone. And so if it's not a good fit, it's not a good fit. I don't want to be working in any situation that I'm not going to have complete success. I'm very, it matters to me that I am able to make the change in people's lives, and that includes children. And so, like you say, if you know if parents are saying to you, can you make them make their bed every day, or or those kinds of things, no, I'm not in it
No.
for that.
So I'm not looking when I start working with someone, child, teens, or an adult. I'm not looking at success necessarily because we cannot promise anything. Even when we
No,
go
of
to the
course.
doctor and the doctor is giving us a pill, medication, they cannot promise us success with us, right? With that. But
Absolutely.
we can promise that we bring us to the table with
Yes.
our experience, with our skills and knowledge and intuition and
Yes.
goodwill, if we say
Yes.
that, and our love to what we do, our passion, and to do everything in our ability to help the child change it. But as we say, same with adults, and you're doing the same. Um,
Yeah.
we are co-creating. It's not us doing something to the child, to the adult. We are doing it together. So
Yes.
as you said before, without the cooperation, we can't do anything.
The very first time I saw a hypnotist was to quit smoking. And the truth was, I didn't want to quit smoking. I wanted the hypnotist to give me some sort of magical switch that I would want to be a non-smoker. That's what I was seeking.
Yeah.
And it failed. And they didn't fail. I failed because what I was looking for was unrealistic. And so with kids, it has to be a realistic balance between what the parents are looking for and what the child wants.
And what
It's
we
not that.
provide.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So when I work with a child, I tell the parent, we're gonna work on 3 sessions, first 3 sessions, and then we see maybe 3 sessions is all they need, but
Yeah.
maybe after 3 sessions, at least we can say, well, nothing happens. We'll know it before that, but after 3 sessions, we say nothing happens, and then there is no point to continue.
Right. Yeah.
And also, maybe after 3 sessions, we put a foundation to something that we need to build on those 3 sessions.
Yes.
So you're right, setting expectation, and maybe this is how we need to call this episode, setting expectation for working with children is what we need to do first when we meet a parent
Yeah.
who's concerned about their children. One more thing that I want to say is that I said before that I usually don't work with kids under 5, sometimes under 7 too. You know, we don't know. It's very depends on the situation. But then we can offer support to the parent and we can guide the parent with different tools to help their children. And I think
Yes.
you do that too, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Um,
It's a collaboration of focus and intention and and for that success with the
yeah,
goal of making everything successful. And that includes everyone involved, and especially when the kids are younger, the parental commitment and involvement.
yeah. And in those cases, I don't even see the child. I hear about the child from the parents, but we work together, like the parents and I are
Yes.
working together rather than me and the children and the parents in the background.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then again, we can provide very good tools for the parents to be supporting their kids to make the transformation. Um, one more thing that I want to say about setting expectation is, you know, not so much now, but in the past, and I think we talked about it, Niota, is that parents used to contact me and ask me to fix their kids,
Right.
but there is nothing to fix because you know the kids behaves the way they behaves,
Yes.
but we are not there to or here to fix anyone. We're here to support and help them change. Um,
Yes.
and to say that it's not like the parent is just leaving the child here in the office
No.
or Zoom and forget about it. We need to cooperate with the parent and to see how between sessions the parents can support their children because they are here with us about 1 hour or so, but then
Yes.
a week long with their parents in between the 1 hours. So,
Yes.
what we can give or how can we support the parents to help their kids between
Right.
sessions? And this is something that for me, it's part of what I offer. It's not like, okay, you just leave the child and you know, we do whatever we do. It's mostly about what you're doing, not mostly, but a big component of it is what you're doing between sessions to support the work that we do here
Yeah.
to help your child move forward or change or
Yeah.
transform or whatever you want to call it.
Absolutely. It's not that magic thing. Like it's not that just drop them off, we'll hypnotize them, and they'll be entirely different about this aspect. Like what I was seeking with smoking the first time I went years and years
Yeah,
and years ago. And it's an unrealistic expectation. It's an impossibility. It has to be that involvement and that commitment. Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah. So involvement and commitment from our end, from the child, and from the parents. So we
Yes.
have a triangle of support network for
Yes.
the child. Anything else
Yeah.
we want to say about setting expectation or how to
Uh,
prepare before working with hypnosis?
no, I think that the components are the the intentions of the child, the intentions of the parents. You know that
Absolutely.
the child wants to achieve the same thing that the parent is seeking the session for or the therapy for, so that everybody is on the same page about what the outcomes are, like the outcomes that we are working towards. It's not like a floating target where we're like, whoa, we'll land someplace close. The child has to be on board as well. Um, for example, I early after I started doing hypnotherapy, I had a client who, I saw a child who the mom had contacted me, and the child had some focus issues and some diagnosed kind of ADD. And anyways, the child was 7-ish, 7 or 8. And the child was a compulsive nose picker. And they did it in school, they did it in everywhere, compulsively. And the mom was sort of beside herself with it. She wanted the behavior to change. And I said, of course I can help with that. I mean, that's what I do. And so the child came in. The child had no interest in stopping.
Yeah.
They didn't care. They did not care. And they found comfort in doing it. And so I can't, it's not magic. It's not magic. You can't make somebody want to do what they don't want to do. You can't make a smoker want to be a non-smoker. You can't make a child give up a habit or behavior that they find gratifying and have no, or are indifferent even. That child was completely indifferent. Like, no, why would I quit picking my nose? It's right there on my face.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's very important that the child is as invested in changing as the parent wants them to be.
Absolutely.
And as parents, we all understand that, right? We want our kids to want to clean up their room or eat all their veggies or brush their teeth properly. We want that. That doesn't mean it's wanting it
Yeah.
isn't powerful enough to have it be the reality.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's close this one. And if you
Yeah.
have any like I'm talking to any parents who listen to us, if you have any questions, feel free to contact us. You can see our contact information down below in the description. And if you found any interest, please subscribe to our channel and get more content like this.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
until next time, bye-bye.
Bye.
Yota and Miri, bye.